Hey guys, welcome back. Well, what a crazy night was it yesterday. I think someone was swaying my car for like at least 1 hour, maybe two. It was kind of crazy. Um, I want to talk today to you about how they make it impossible to ignore, or as impossible as it can possibly get. Even though I have been doing my best to ignore it, for years, they will literally get in your face and just try to grab your attention one way or another. Such as like if I'm just hanging out here, like literally, that's how insane this is. Someone will literally hide in a corner of your car and then just start swaying it. The thing is that since right now I'm in a trolley station, it is significantly harder for them to do everything else. Like when I was staying under a bridge, they would literally have a car going around and they would just rev up the engine like time after time after time. It was kind of insane. Like they would literally go hours, especially when COVID was going on. And I had these earphones by the brand Shure, Shure, and they are in ears, so they kind of like go deep in your ear. And even though I was still wearing them and I had them like really loud, I could still hear the engine. So this is the thing. So because of how I am, um, where I am staying, the things that I'm doing, I'm keeping myself busy. I'm not doing any drugs. I am pretty much. I have my car windows open. I even have my car door open. It makes it a lot harder for them to do things secretly. So before I wanted my privacy because I was getting gang stalked. So I used to put black cardboard cutouts of the shape of my window. Actually, I did it with origami. So like I literally just placed the cardboard on top of my window and then just did very meticulous folds so they would just stay perfectly on the window from the inside. And then no one could see inside, but I couldn't see outside either. so so it was kind of difficult. And well, during the harassment, when I was staying in hotels, I would get people literally standing outside of the car of the window too, and of the door, just standing there listening to what I was doing. And even the people that worked at the hotel, I used to stay a lot at the Riverleaf Hotel because one of my friends I liked that hotel because it was cheap and it was nice. And one of my friends actually managed the hotel. Like his boyfriend is like the manager or like owns a bunch of hotels. And I used to get like a $66 a night. It was really good deal. Now, it during this time it was when I wasn't fully understanding what was happening. So I used to pretty much, try to rock my socks off. And most of these people were gang stalkers. I didn't under I was doing that with the hopes that I would get a normal person. But like some would come and then they would just try to get me higher, and then they would sometimes I would get the guys that they wouldn't wash their butt. That would actually happen a lot. And they would even lie. They would be like, oh yeah, I totally cleaned out, and they weren't be, and it was disgusting. And that was a common thing that happened. When there's just no way. Like I would even get straight guys that would just want to like get me high, and I wasn't even looking out for straight guys, but they would be chasing me. Like I think they have this setup where like it is I who has to initiate the conversation. And it's literally like there were like a menu of guys and they were all gang stalkers, and it was just me who had to like pick them out. And when I wasn't hooking up, they would send me messages of like, "Hey, do you PMP? Do you shut up?" And then they would just wanna work my mind into talking about it. So it would be one way or another that the gang stalkers would pretty much try to get into my life. And right now that I am literally I'm just here in my car, I'm just resting. I'm currently homeless, and I'm just, this is where I'm staying. I do have a house in the Pro Valley, but I am here by choice because I want to just document as much of this as possible. And I want you guys to just have a direct loop, a first row seat on what it is to get gang stalked, you know. And even though it's such a powerful manipulation that even when you know that there are no direct energy weapons, when you know, and I have had this confirmed by a gang stalker, that it's all a delusion, I still yesterday doubted what I know is true. And that's what happens is that, remember when we talked about perceptions, where literally perceptions pretty much are where your mind just looks for confirmation for one perception or another. But then when you have points that point toward a particular perception, even though the perception is erroneous, your mind will start believing it. And it's funny because my brain will believe it even though I fully know the truth. Like, it goes against every type of logic, you know, because it is like you just simply convinced. It is because I feel like the brain is pretty much like a computer, you know, where you get, if you get enough data points that point towards one direction, your brain will just simply turn the perception over, flip it 180 degrees, and tell you, okay, yeah, no, there are direct energy weapons. That's why it's so convincing, you know. And the thing is that when it is the whole thing with the direct energy weapons, you know, I began feeling it on my foot, I began feeling it everywhere. I even began getting the taps on the shoulder. But I know that it is just your body reacting to it. And you know, talking about it while it was happening, it was actually really therapeutic. It actually helped me just kind of calm myself down, and I felt a lot safer. Not that I was scared nor anything, but it literally just made me feel like I was able to, that I wasn't alone. You know, for the past 6, I guess now it might be like even 7 years that I have been getting gang stalked, I felt alone the entire time. And now I don't, and it was actually relieving to just talk to you guys while it was happening. And you know, I kind of didn't do it when exactly was happening, because I didn't want the gang stalkers to feel. Look, listen, I still care about what the gang stalkers are thinking. I still care, even though I preach that I shouldn't, and I do my best not to. But it is so hard to find to actually stick to what you know. Like, I still cared, you know, because I didn't want them to feel. I didn't want them to think that I was reacting, you know, to what they were doing or what I felt like they were doing. And like, I literally still have that codependency where I care about what they think, and I shouldn't. So what I'm going to do is that next time, as I start feeling something, regardless of a gang stalker being there or not, I'm just gonna start recording, and I'm gonna just tell you all about it, like I am doing now. But as soon as it starts happening, regardless of if they are there or not, because I am going to do it, not because I'm reacting to it, but because I want to document it, and I want to tell you everything that is happening to me right at the moment that is happening, not out of a reaction, but out of a need to really tell you everything that's going on. And that's going to be something new that I'm doing, and I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea, but I'm just going to document it, because I know that is the best thing to do, to just tell you everything about it, because I want to give you I want to not care about what the gang stalkers are doing, and the only way that I can convince my brain to not care is by doing things that show carelessness about what they are thinking, which is pretty much to document it. As soon as I get as soon as I want to document it, I have to start documenting it, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I want to try this new format where I'm using like the long screen, pretty much so you guys can see what I am expressing. I feel like that way you can see my expressions more, because I guess I talk a lot with my hands, and I feel like I had a lot of I wasn't allowing you to see a lot more of my expressions, you know. Also, the first time that I felt some type of shaking, I'm gonna tell you this. I was at I was staying at the Riverleaf Hotel, you know, and the whole gang stalking thing was very fresh. It was when the custodians from the Riverleaf Hotel were just beeping their walkie-talkies right in front of the door of my hotel room, and then they were banging on the doors. They were doing the gang stalking sign. It was pretty intense. They were doing the gang stalker grin. I was being harassed by the cops. I was It was pretty insane. And the first time I thought there was a spirit, because I was about to sleep and I was staying in my hotel room, and the bed began shaking. It began shaking really hard, so I began praying, and I was holding on to my bed, and just the bed was shaking hard. Not like hard like the Exorcist type of hard, but it was just shaking, almost like it was like a therapeutic bed. Like it was just continuous, and it happened. And then I thought I saw something I know I was imagining it, but I just imagined this big entity right in front of me, and I was truly frightened. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was very frightened because I didn't know what it was, you know. But I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in karma. I just believe in evil people, and I just know that I'm the type of person that is always gonna try to make the best out of every situation, regardless of how negative it might be, even this one. And I am always going to find a way of making the best of it, like how I am now. And this is me making the best of my gang stalking situation. And I'm kind of glad that it took me this long to start doing this, because that way I have all this experience to back me up. But I wish I would have just shared everything that happened to me before, when it was happening. So I honestly think that gang stalking is forever, and I am just gonna document it day in, day out, you know. And I'm gonna tell you my new perspectives, my new points of view, because I wanna make this as public as possible, so that people just know what it feels like, you know. Regardless if it makes me appear like I'm crazy, that's okay with me, because turning people crazy is what gang stalking does. And if you see me, having these delusions, that's okay, because there are delusions that I have been pushed on me. I am one of the sanest people that you're gonna possibly ever meet. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about me. I have been living by myself since I was 16. My mom I'm 100% Mexican. My mom was a field worker. Now she's retired, but she moved to Oklahoma for a lot of years, to finish paying her house. She used to collect cans, and actually collecting cans helped her pay the house. Now, also, my dad was a heroin addict. He died from heroin addiction. He used to be a cab driver. I have an older brother. and he's a complete narcissist. And then I have a half brother, whom I know was also contacted by the gang stalkers. Um, my brother, I don't know anything about the if he has anything to do with gang stalkers. My gang stalking has followed me from the Imperial Valley, Calexico, California, El Centro, San Diego, Palm Springs. When I went to interview to be a flight attendant, for Delta Airlines, I don't think there was any gang stalking there. I just I was actually free, even though when I logged in, I stayed in a hotel, and then I saw like this dude just wanting unprotected sex, and I was wondering, is this a gang stalker trap? You know, the thing is that that's how they have set me up, and I'm never gonna know if it is just people hanging out looking for sex, and then just by mere chance, knowing who I am, and just trying to get me high, but I didn't hook up at all when I was there. And what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, gang stalkers make it impossible to ignore. They're gonna attack every single aspect of your life at work, and you kind of just have to close the doors for them. Yeah, like I have had where even all my coworkers have conspired against me, but when I'm sober, they aren't. And yeah, yeah. So gang stalkers pretty much make everything possible to make it impossible for you to ignore it. And the best thing you can do is be better at them, be better than them at ignoring it. You have to keep yourself busy, and you kind of just have to like be always on guard, when it's you're always on the lookout. And I have learned how to how to turn that off, and actually not just focus on what I'm doing. Like, I'm gonna make a couple more videos, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna clean my car because it's filthy, and I'm gonna keep making more of these videos because I have so much to tell you. Thank you for watching. Bye.